Hey there, DFS Army people. It's your boy Chapadong, and I am going to talk some of the player props slash Pickem sites with you this morning and kind of bring you up to speed on what we're doing. When it comes to prize picks, underdog, sleeper, we've got you covered. But if you are in a state that doesn't have sports betting yet, let me introduce you to the Draftkings Pick6 format. This now pits player versus player instead of player versus house. You now have to beat me. You don't have to beat the house, who is expert at making picks and setting lines and all that kind of stuff. So what this format, I think, allows you to do is dip your toes in to the prop market or the sports betting markets when you maybe are not in a state that has legalized yet. And I think from DraftKings point of view, once you dabble your feet, you'll like it, and therefore, when your state does legalize, you'll choose DraftKings as your sports book. So, kind of an investment in the states that haven't legalized yet, in my opinion. I think it's pretty sharp. Um, I've dabbled around a little bit. I've been looking for a reason to get into the market. I live in a state that is not legal yet, and so this is kind of perfect for me. And it allows me to do what I love to do, which is teach you how to become a better DFS player, sports bettor, whatever. I'm not a great sports bettor. Please do not take my words for gospel. But I use the tools in the industry and at DFS Army specifically to help me find sensible bets. I'm not a big parlay lover either, but in a format like this, you have to choose 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 legs to your plays to make it work out. I believe that if you just bet the picks straight up, you definitely have a higher EV. It's easier to beat the house that way because you don't have to hit all or nothing. When you're trying to bet 3 and 4 and 5 picks, I get it. You want to win 5, 10, 20 times your money, but you're paying double juice because the sites never pay out the true odds of that play hitting. They just don't. That's how they make their money. They make their money. At DFS Army, we teach you not to be the sucker, essentially. We teach you not to be a donkey. And I think that parlays, some guys can play them, some guys can make some sense of them when they find the exact right plays. But overall, the overarching point of straight parlays at sports books, you're a donkey. So you want to really correct your game. You really want to start winning a little bit more money or keeping more. You stop playing parlays. Bet the things straight. However, on sites like Prize Picks, Underdog, Pick6 here at DraftKings, whatever, you do have to pick 2 and 3 and 4 legs. So you have to play parlays. We have the tools assigned to help you make those bets, string them up, and then make profit. So that actually is a good thing. And if you're interested, dfsarmy.com. The easiest coupon code to use is DFSArmy. But if you want a better discount, 24% off using the code PLAYOFFS. Happens for a limited time, a week or two. I think left. There's not a lot of time left in that coupon code, but you can certainly use it. Be my guest. Let me dive in and let me show you what I'm talking about. First, let me cover my own track record. It's a small sample, but using this little method I'm about to show you, it ain't bad. 4 out of 5 last night, paid 1.6x. 2 out of 2, either last night or the night before, paid 2.8x. 1 out of 2, missed that one. 2 out of 2, 2.6x on the payout if you're wondering where I'm looking. 3 out of 3, 4.6x. And then an 0 for 2, and then a 2 for 4. 2 for 4 on the big one was my $50 bonus deposit. I didn't mind losing it because you want to max those bonuses out. When they convert to free credits, you can see we're already well back up over the $50. And promotions. I was betting these 2 picks, which were giving me on a simple $1 bet, were giving me $5 in site credit. So I was mounting up as much site credit and maximizing the promotions as I went. But as a result, I went like 12 of 15 in these most recent picks. And that's what, 75%? That ain't bad. I don't expect that number to sustain itself. It's just not feasible in this market. But it's a pretty good little heater to get started with. And it's a pretty good way to confidently sample the play style and what it takes betting football, betting basketball. I won't go into the rules of how to play Pick6 specifically, but I want to show you how to make some picks. If we go to the home screen and we look up the NFL, the Saturday slate, I was using receiving yards. Pretty easy site to navigate. You just simply look at 85.5 yards. Is Nico going more or less? Brandon Ayuk, 75.5 yards. Is he going more or less? You make your pick, you move on. But you don't have to make every pick. You don't have to just, my favorite player, I think he's going to do it. No. Stop thinking. Use the tools and the projections to your advantage, and that's what I'm getting ready to show you right now. If I dove in, the first thing actually I should show you is a two-way market. You want to find a two-way market. So go to Vegas Insider, go to MyBookie, go to Action Network, RotoWire, whatever. Go to some of those sites and look around at these odds charts that they post. They show all of the different sites, and they show the basic yardage. The best odds for Nico Collins are 80.5. You find between 82 and 80.5 pretty much across the board. There's a 79 that you could take. I like to look for the numbers here if it's a tie. I like to look, where's the juice? If the number is a minus 20, that's telling me that that site is pricing higher on the under. If they're going to move that line, they're going to move it down to 79.5, right? Here, this site might move it up to 81. This isn't telling me a lot of information because we're pulling in two different directions. Some are pulling the over, some are pulling the under. But they do look like they're stuck pretty much at between 80 and 82 points. When I look at the Pick6 number, I see Nico Collins at 85. Not bad. When I look at the Prize Picks tool, this is our Proptimizer tool. If I go into the market and I go into receiving yards and hit apply and go into the player, and I turn them all off, but I'm going to take Ayuk, and then I'm going to find our boy Nico Collins here just to show you these couple of quick examples and get you up and running. You can do this with rushing yards. You can do this with anything. I see that Nico Collins here in the middle is on that 80 number, right? Prize Picks is the same as the consensus out in the industry. Consensus is juiced a little bit to the over. The sportsbook's projections are 81.35, so they are leaning a little bit towards the over and telling you there's a very slight advantage on betting the over. But that is a very, very tight bet. That line, according to the industry, is set correctly. There's no advantage in that bet. I don't care how much you love Nico Collins. If you went to high school with his sister and dated her and took her to homecoming, I don't care. This is not a good bet for you. It's a very 50-50 bet, and I want the odds in my favor. So if I instead looked at Brandon Ayuk at 75.5 yards, went to a two-way market, scrolled down to 65 and 66 is where the market is set on Brandon Ayuk. 65 and 66, and I'm getting 75. That's pretty much screaming at the under. The industry is telling me that. So if I go to the Prize Picks tool and look at Brandon Ayuk, 70.5 for Prize Picks is, and that's still an advantageous bet because the market and the sports books are projecting about 66. Now, take me back to Prize Picks, and I'm getting 75. Yeah, I'm on the under there. Less. See how easy that was? All we're going to do is go through these site by site, stat by stat, board by board, pick by pick, and you're going to take the monster bets. You don't bet Nico Collins at 85 because he's at like 80, 82 in the industry. But at 75, yeah, you'd take Brandon Ayuk when the projection is for 66. That's a big under. In other words, DraftKings might have missed this line. And the thing about DraftKings is they aren't going to change it. Because it's me versus you, not me versus DraftKings. Once they set a line, they stay with it. So as the line moves through the week, I'll continue to watch it. And if this line continues to creep down to 66 to 65 to 64 for whatever reason, that tells me that more and more people are on the under with Brandon Ayuk. Which tells me my bet is moving away from this number further and further and further, which means I'm getting a better and better and better advantage for taking this pick kind of early on. I hope that makes some sense to you. You can do this you just need a couple of sites to compare. One of my favorite things in the Proptimizer tool is looking at the consensus and then our projections over at Sharp App. If you don't know where Sharp App is, just sharpapp.link/DFS Army. Free download, all yours. But I'm going to look at these tools and I like using consensus picks. Sportsbook projections are fine. I like using those. And then I like comparing them to the site that I'm looking at. This is Prize Picks. And this tells you there's an advantage on the bet. Green, orange, red, whatever. Red, don't bet it. Orange, maybe. Green, bet it. You've got an advantage here. And I can take that to Prize Picks. I can use Prize Picks and take that to Draftkings Pick6, compare it to Draftkings number. Sometimes Draftkings number obviously is a little different on Nico Collins. It's a lot different on Brandon Ayuk. I'm going to find those where it's a lot different, and I'm going to bet the correct side. I'm going to bet the consensus side of that play. And I'm looking for the biggest advantage I can possibly find. I don't need 2 or 3 yards, but I'll take 10. That's just a very easy way to play football, basketball. You want to bet rebound props. You want to bet points and assists. You want to bet passing yards. You want to bet rushing attempts, whatever. You just click through the markets, take a quick look at some of these players, and you just let it rip. When I'm looking here on Draftkings Pick6, a lot of times these players are going to be popular players. You're not going to find the third string receiver in these player props like you might if you just went directly to MGM or directly to FanDuel, right? You might find some of those obscure props, and those have some advantages. DraftKings isn't playing that game. DraftKings is saying, I'm keeping it towards the popular people, the people that you see on TV that you want to root for, and I'm establishing numbers with them. So you need some of those really, really popular, traditionally sharper lines, because a lot of people bet them. They take betting volume. You need to find those that are a little out of whack. Maybe some news broke. Maybe Vegas is generally pretty good. And when I can use the consensus in Vegas to disagree with a site like DraftKings specifically, I can make some money. And so can you. If you need more coaching, you need more help, you need more explanation, then you need to get inside dfsarmy.com and you need to look me up. I'm usually in the beginner's room. Sometimes you'll find me in the player props room, those areas. And I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to help you. I'd love to make you a better sports better. Better? Huh. Interesting alliteration there. But I'd love to see you inside. Use the coupon code PLAYOFFS for 24% off. Use the standard code DFSARMY. If you're getting here late, get a discount. Friends don't let friends pay retail. And I'd like to think we're friends. Jump on in, and we'll talk to you guys real soon.